community in Dallas. Still at that time doing some patrols locally.
Mm-hmm.
How did y'all decide to, you, Chief, if I'm correct, Babu, how y'all all come together and say, hey, you know what, we're gonna create Huey P. New Gun Club?
I'm gonna tell you my part of it. And you know what I'm saying? I can't really speak Babu and Rakim, of course, how they parts. What they feel. I'm gonna tell you my part. My part was I ran around with Changa, Walter Higgins, you know what I'm saying? He just ran for District 7 in the city of Dallas. I ran around with Stephen Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? At that time, a cornerstone activist in the community, you know what I'm saying? I ran with them, and we was concerned about policy, right? And so with us being concerned about policy, I said, I want to make my part of it, I want to make it a little militant. Because up until that point, I learned like how to do open record requests from with the Dallas Community Organized for Change. We were doing open record requests on police brutality statistics. A lot of people don't know, like, okay, now it's popular, but when DCOC was out there doing open records requests, filing complaints, federal complaints against the city, it was very unpopular. We did this in 2013, man. You know what I'm saying? So we did open records requests, and we found out that, I don't know, 40 unarmed individuals had been killed by Dallas police in a 10-year period. And we thought that was just crazy with nobody saying nothing about it. So when all that was happening, because it wasn't getting the attention, because we kept trying to do press conferences. Yeah. I mean, police brutality just wasn't a hot topic at that particular time until later on, until Michael Brown. So what I basically did was, there was a brother that I had reached out to, and I knew he was a rider. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to him. I talked to him on the phone. I said, man, I want to do an open carry demonstration in Dallas, in South Dallas. He said, I based my time frame off his work schedule, what I'm trying to say. It was August 20th. This was before Michael Brown. This was like, when was this? This
before
was like,
Trayvon?
No, this wasn't before Trayvon. Trayvon had already happened. Okay. When Trayvon happened, we were trying to do a citywide referendum in Dallas to get a new civilian review board. Of course, we got it now, but that's what we were trying to do in 2012. But with this particular situation in 2013, this was before Michael Brown. To me, Michael Brown is really what took the police brutality part on a national level. Now, Trayvon woke folks up in 2012, but Michael Brown kind of brought it into police brutality. You know what I'm saying? So I had organized it based upon this one brother's schedule for August 20th. Keep in mind, Michael Brown happened 2009, 2013. So anytime you deal with situations that are emotional, it's all about timing, right? So we got together with that. Babu said he wanted to do South Dallas, a specific part of South Dallas. Yeah. I wanted South Dallas. He had a specific part, which was really, really important. He said he wanted to go down MLK and then Malcolm X. So basically what people see is what really started this kind of resurgence of Black open carry came from our first demonstration, August 20th, 2014.
You say you talking about Huey P. New Gun Club?
Huey P. New Gun Club. The Huey P. New Gun Club started this resurgence of Black militant culture. Yeah. Before that, it was just taboo. It was something off to the side. It was like if you post a picture with you and a weapon on social media, everybody would like take that down. It was like you couldn't do that, you know what I'm saying, without somebody speaking against it. So when we did it, and you know, it was Babu's ability to kind of keep everybody sort of disciplined. It was my political part of it because I was already engaged in the politics of the police brutality movement. He was engaged, but he wasn't necessarily as engaged as I was. I was actively trying to change policy in the city, like actively. You know what I'm saying? So it was that and my ability to try to connect with the right contacts and individuals, you know what I'm saying, media, etc., that really combined together and blew it up.
So if I'm correct, because, we're talking to people that may or may not know, right now, currently, you and Rakim, y'all not part of the Huey P. New Gun Club, correct? As it is now.
As the organization that exists now that a lot of people refer to as the Huey P. New Gun Club, no, I decided to create the Huey P. New Gun Club Alpha. And the reason why I created that was not to be in competition or conflict with the Huey P. New Gun Club. I'm really concerned about like the politics and ideology. To me, that's most important. It's not about no gun or being sensational or be able to say all this crazy stuff that gets sound bites. Like I just never was into that.
So how do like you the Huey P. Newton Gun Club that y'all formed together? It's somewhat like it was your baby.
Correct.
So how do you feel like Babu? He's, to my understanding, is over the whole thing because you got Huey P. Newton Gun Clubs all across the country now.
Right.
So how do you feel about the direction and not the saying, but just be honest, how you feel about it now and where it's going and how it is now, because it's huge now. I would say you got to give big ups to Babu, like after the separation. He did. I feel like he did a good job with growing the membership and everything. But in your personal opinion, how you feel about it?
I think Babu did a great job in what made sense to him. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. He did a great job in what made sense to him and how he seen it. I think if I would have been engaged, if I'd have stayed engaged, I think it would have went a little differently. I'm not one for extreme to what I consider conservative politics in terms of the black nationalist aspect. I'm not one big on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really more. Have developed more into like an intercommunalism. You know what I'm saying? I'm really big on the name Huey P. Newton. So when the name Huey P. Newton came about, from that point, from that ideological point, you know what I'm saying, that's why I agree with the name. You know what I'm saying? So to just take for example, I'm just gonna be like valid. Like a lot of cats, and I just say some names. There are people out here that sort of disagree with the whole like quote unquote Panther position. You know what I'm saying? Or kind of like the new Panther position, so to speak. And so
you say it's people that disagree with the original Panther position?
No,
with the new Black Panther.
With that position.
Okay.
And not to really harp on that because that's not what this is about per se, but there are some disagreements. And so one of those individuals, of course, is Chairman Fred. And I'm just going to say,
Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.
Yeah. One of those people is Chairman Fred. He has a disagreement, you know what I'm saying, in terms of that part of it, you know what I'm saying? And, if I could speak and I just want to kind of be a mouthpiece for it, you know what I'm saying? Those politics I sort of, got a disagreement with. I think that ultimately black people should create a situation where we have complete control of our communities. But I also feel at the same time that, as in George Jackson says, we have to use the resources of those that may or may not look like us, and sometimes we even have our best interests towards our benefit. And it's a matter of, the method of how we do that. But I think we should do it in a way whereas Yafeuh don't necessarily have to be the one to die. Like, why I gotta die for? It's too many other people that's already died. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm not big on black, because it's already enough black blood in the streets. We died with black, so-called black on black violence. We died when we dealing with police brutality. We died from cancer. We died from quote unquote some ailment that came out in 2020. We died for a number of different reasons. So a lot of people say, well, Yafeuh, this is another thing that some people said about me. They say Yafeuh like white folks. And that's what they say about me. No, I realize that there are some resources that we need to take advantage of, and we need to pull it back to our camps and to our communities so that we can uplift our communities. A lot of people disagree with that. So that's principally one of my disagreements, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I understand, to him, and I'm not, shitting on him or none of that, or nobody within that formation per se. I just have an ideological disagreement, and then number one, I think they just can go about doing things differently.
Okay.